Target is back in the hot seat right now. Target is all about their wokeness. Target cares very much about making sure they include everyone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Only that, this is a company that has struggled. I spoke with the former vice chairman of Target just rather recently, actually, and he was making the point that not only are they struggling from sort of the do they get their customer standpoint in the political environment, dicey political environment that we are in, but they also they got messy aisles, they got too much inventory, they're not really running it right. So they have too much inventory on some things, but apparently not on others. Have you guys heard of Stanley Cups? So I wasn't really here I am looking at GDP and China's economy and whatever the latest is coming out of Iran. And, it's wonky stuff. So sometimes I miss, full disclosure, the big pop culture phenomenon. Just know that about me. I'm a little bit of a dork and I care more about the Fed and the markets than I do about things like Stanley Cups. But this has been creeping into my life lately because somehow one of the kids made a reference to this and I'm like, what? And they're like, how can you not know what a Stanley Cup is? You're a mom, you're a suburban mom. You should know what a Stanley Cup is because they are all the rage. Before I tell you what Target's doing here, let's watch this woman who the internet is going crazy because she's some kind of TikToker and she's got zillions of Stanley Cups, which is I guess the equivalent of having a whole lot of Louis Vuitton purses these days. She got slammed. Do we have the video, Drew? I want to show them this because she was bragging about how she's got 13 Stanley Cups and she doesn't even bother to clean them all. Maybe if we don't, it's okay. But she's a woman out of Texas, and apparently she does a whole bunch of day-to-day life stuff. I think we have it. Yeah. All right. So let's watch her. This woman out of Texas who is so proud of her 13 Stanley Cups that she doesn't need to clean them. Rather, she has so many, she can just find another. And so she gets it back out of her kitchen cabinet. She's got 9,500 followers. I think we're doing a little better here on YouTube, right? I'm going to get to her comments in just a little bit. Maybe we may not have her. Don't worry about it. Okay, so this influencer lady, she's slammed here. Everybody's like, how can you have 13 and how can you not clean them? And I'm like, what? Really? So the reason I'm telling you this story is because Target's in trouble with a lot of people now. They're targeting their employees. I don't know how anybody even wants to work for them these days. They're firing people because apparently there's a limit on how many Stanley Cups you can buy if you work at Target. Two only. I hope they get a discount. So the Target employee handbook apparently says that purchasing high demand merchandise is prohibited. So consequently, if you are somebody who goes and purchases these particular items, this is all Stanley Cups, limit is 2 per guest. This reminds me of when I was first shopping for paper towels at was it Home Depot during the dark days of 2020, and they'd have a big sign, limit 2 paper towels per customer. This is Target with these stupid Stanley Cups. Apparently they really keep your drink warm or cold. I don't really care. Seems like a total waste, but everybody's really into these things. And now you can actually get fired from Target if you buy too many. So worth knowing in the spirit of too much information. But again, this is a company that's been highly challenged. It's kind of bought into this whole atmosphere of let's do this and let's be this to all people. I just wanted to take a look at their stock price, you guys. This is a live show. We are in live time. We got the market having just ended up about 0.6% there on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, about 0.5% there on the S&P. So a lot of people taking heart, if you would, in that GDP report, which I'm not totally buying. But you know what? I will say this. Sometimes you kind of have to divorce fundamentals from what's actually going on in the overall marketplace. It's kind of a critical thing to do because you're always trying to guess and gauge where the Fed is coming in, whether or not this money spigot is going to stay open. You know the drill. And so investors sometimes, down is up and up is down. And I'm just looking at the stock price. And actually, It's recovered somewhat. Let me take a look year to date. Actually, no, year to date, it's still down. So we're looking at it about $140 in after close trading. It did end the day at 142, a gain of better than 2% there, again on target, ladies and gentlemen. So the question, though, I mean, when you look at it year to date, is really, is it going to be able to manage itself enough? It's down. I mean, I'm just looking. Even if we go back to 21, it was in the $200. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Disney, right? These woke companies that are just